First of all, that was my hot mic. I apologize. I hit it by accident.
No problem.
Um, but yeah, as far as the you know person you were speaking about, I kind of like the.
Lynn, that's Pastor Dan.
Thank you, Pastor Dan. I'm not awake yet. Be patient. No, I'm kind of with Scott here. I mean, God does teach us to love everybody.
Of mine is advice.
At the same time, He also teaches us to be, of a certain code. So it's like, to have some sense of, compassion, but at the same time, kind of like follow the rules, So I don't think it's hypocrisy as much. Like he said, I think it's just a really bad way of doing things. And talking about how God loves us, because He does say, "I love you, but go out and sin no more." So it's not that we shouldn't love them regardless. I mean, even when your kid does something bad, you love them, but you just don't like what they did, right? And there's a difference, and I think that's the part that people miss is we can love them.
It might be nice to see like someone.
And I think a lot of people misconstrue that love is 100%, perfection, and it's not. Because people aren't perfect, and people forget that there's that little space there that God said, "I love you, but don't do this anymore." That sucks when you do this. So I understand that. I don't think it was hypocrisy, but I do think it's kind of like your parents telling you, if you watch stay too close to the TV, you're blind, So
listen and
I just don't like it either. I kind of don't appreciate that.
The same thing is if you eat watermelon, watermelon is going to grow in your tummy.
Yeah, kind of. The natural consequence of your actions, right? And I'm not a real fan of that either, but of course when you're raising children and you're trying to get them to do the right thing, sometimes you tell them what the consequence. If you touch that stove, it's hot, it's going to burn you, and the children either choose to believe you or they're going to touch the stove, right? And then they get the consequence. So I kind of think that that's more what the Bible is talking about when people think about, at least a lot of us think about when we're talking about that kind of stuff. But some people take it very literally. And it's not as literal as people think, that if you love somebody, you're going to love them. You do love them, but you're not going to always like what they do. So I kind of think that that's what people kind of get that kind of message. But I don't like the way he puts people down either. I think it's just inappropriate.
Needs
and
and
not
addresses.
helpful. That's my thoughts.
Thank you. Let's go to John Malincrot. John, good morning. Thanks for doing the heavy lifting. Would you like a fresh five?
Yeah, thanks, Steve. That really was kind of an amazing piece. It's really a good one to stimulate conversation. Pastor Dan is definitely not the guy I would want to have a beer with and hang out. Sounds like somebody who has been changed from the guy he otherwise would have been by his religion.
Would you have a beer with Reverend Scott?
I would definitely have a beer with Reverend Scott.
Hang on a second. There's two Johns on stage. JH, we want to talk to you, but you just have to wait your turn, and you too will get a fresh five. I promise. John Malincrot.
Yeah, something to stand to the John you mistook me for yesterday. It's funny how few Johns I find on Clubhouse. Anyway.
Most of them are on Sunset Boulevard. Yeah,
exactly. I was saying in chat, Pastor Dan is exhibit number one in why I, unlike you, Steve, am a strong anti-theist, which does not mean a strong atheist. As I understand it, an anti-theist is somebody who opposes organized religion, and that is number one on my hit list.
I'm exactly the opposite. I support organized religion. Yes.
Right. But I just say it so people understand that the term anti-theist is a different thing from atheist, because it's about religion. And religion, I think it's really important that people start to appreciate that religion is organized religion is a completely different